Ladies and gentlemen, as you've already seen, this is the Be Live Top 5. And I already know you're asking all these questions. That's why I wanted to get in front of the camera. In lieu of having a SportsBros podcast episode this week, I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. But sports, they do not stop. So I'm coming with you. I'm coming with you. And I'm going to explain to you why my top 5 changed so drastically. It shouldn't be that hard to figure out. But I'm here to explain it to you. Why Be Live? Why you have Michigan at number 1 all year long and you took them down to number 5? Why is that? Why would you make such a drastic change? Well, it's very simple. Head coaches get paid for what they do, and for a good reason. It's a lot going on the sidelines. Of course, there's a lot going on during the week, during practice, scheming, film study, game planning, all of that. But at the end of the day is what happens on the sideline. And to not have your head coach on the sideline, you saw it against Maryland. Of course, a lot of people say that was a trap game. Maryland plays tough, etc., etc. This ain't the time to let off the gas. And you've got Ohio State. This is the game. This is it right here. When you're in, and with where everything's going on, when you're in and lose, you're out. And I'm sorry, I just see it that way. Without having Jim Harbaugh on the sideline, I think Michigan loses to Ohio State. Now, Be Live, why do you have Ohio State at number 4? They were number 1 in the college football playoff rankings when it first came out, and now they're number 2 or whatever they decide to release tonight. Why have them at number 4? Who have they played? Who exactly has Ohio State played? Notre Dame, Penn State. And Notre Dame isn't all that cracked up to be because Notre Dame just lost to an unranked Clemson. Oh yes, all roads lead to Dabo. That's not a big win. And Penn State, they lose to Ohio State and Michigan every year. They're the 3rd best team in the Big Ten, and Big Ten isn't really that strong. Sorry. Not convincing to me. So, and those 2 games they won against Notre Dame and Penn State, they barely beat them. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. Florida State at number 3. I'm not going to do it. As much as Florida State is a rival, as much as there's a lot of back and forth, I'm not going to punish Florida State for their quarterback getting hurt. In no other sport do they punish a team for an injury. They punish a team for results. Now, if Florida State loses to Louisville, loses to Florida, then that's what happens. But right now, you don't punish them right now for what just happened on the field. We really don't know who Toad Rodemaker is. Florida State, do what y'all got to do. I'm not going to be one of those naysayers. As much as I don't like y'all at all, I'm not going to be one of those naysayers. Do what needs to be done. Washington at number 2. I need everybody in the sports world to get off of the East Coast bias. If you haven't watched Washington this year, you will. If you haven't, then you have no idea. But for those that have, and I have, I stayed up a little bit later to watch these dudes. They're number 2 in my eyes for a reason. Yes, they don't have the defense that other teams have, but maybe that's because the Pac-12, soon to be the Pac-2, whoopsie, they play ball. They got high-flying offenses that are sometimes tough to stop. And I think this year might be the year where those offenses might just be better than the Southeast and their defense and everything. And I'm from the Southeast. Trust and believe. I love my football. I love defense. But what Michael Penix Jr. and what Washington's doing this year, ooh, I have them better than all those other teams that I just mentioned. And then number one, it pains me to say, the most complete team would have been Michigan, as I've been saying all year. But the most complete team right now is Georgia. Even though they haven't played anybody, Tennessee isn't that good. Missouri isn't that good. They just have the SEC moniker behind it. But Georgia manhandled them. And it is what it is at this point. But that's why the playoff is here. Because Georgia not only, they got to get past Georgia Tech, and they don't sleep on Georgia Tech, but I think that's going to be a massacre. But then they got the SEC championship against Alabama. And woo, it's going to be very, very interesting. We shall see. This has been the craziest year I think college football playoff has seen. And then we get 12 teams next year. So Be Live top 5, I might have to shift that next year. We shall see. There's my explanation. You don't have to agree with it. I don't care. That's why it's called the Be Live top 5. And I'm out. I'm out.